Hello there YouTube, this is Zukai here, Steve, welcoming you back to the newest episode of our franchise zoo in Planet Zoo. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not going to be adding a new exhibit. Instead, we're going to actually take this time to improve our old area, specifically the guest area. Not that we're not going to be putting new animals in, we're going to be adding animals to old exhibits, and as you can see here, we need to get a staff center in. So we need to upgrade our guest area. We're going to put in a staff center. We're also going to rearrange the buildings so that they look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. We're going to put in a small exhibit, one of the exhibit animals in this area that our buildings are in order to kind of trick guests into going into there to make sure that we're still making as much profits as possible. And then we're going to go ahead and add another animal to our warthog exhibits. Remember from episode 1, the common warthogs. They get animal enrichment from being with a lot of different species, and looking at the ones that it interacts with, I think the one that's going to suit us best are these common ostriches. See, common ostriches, we've already got unlocked most of the things we're going to need for them. They're going to get that interspecies enrichment from being with the warthogs. They fit in the same area, so it's going to be easy, I think. Plus, that exhibit's going to have plenty of room based on the amount of space they need. We're also going to be doing a little bit of a refurb on that exhibit, though. Go ahead and create a house for both the warthogs and the ostriches. But let's go ahead and do the guest area first, because that's what I'm most interested in. I should have enough money to go through with this. So let's go ahead and see what exhibit animal we're going to put in first. I don't want it to be a bug, and I don't want it to be a snake, because I don't want it to be anything that might potentially scare people. So anything that people have a common phobia of, I'm going to avoid. No spiders, no snakes. What do I want here? Yellow anaconda. I can't believe that those would fit in those smaller terrariums. I feel like I would put two together just to make it look like. But anyway, what do we want to put in here? We did Gila monsters before. Goliath frogs are interesting. I would rather put them in an amphibian house. You know what? We did the lesser Antilles iguana. Let's do a green iguana now. What do we got here? Green iguana. Let's just make sure we have what they need. Group size 1 to 2. Okay, 1 to 2. Excluding juveniles. Perfect. We can go ahead and just put a single iguana in there. I'm not even going to bother putting in a breeding pair. They're so cheap that we can replace them, and of course it gives us the option to switch more easily. Switch more easily to other animals. Oh, poor balloon's escaping. Okay, let's also go ahead and see if I can't grab those ostriches now while I'm still thinking about it. Because that's something I would certainly forget and be very upset at myself for forgetting. So, animal trading, and we'll just go ahead, I need to take the filter off so it's not just giving us the tortoises. Bye-bye, tortai. Hello, common ostriches. Beautiful. Okay, a lot of these can be purchased for the ecology cost. We've only got like 260, yeah. So we're going to try to get the ones here that are purchasable with cash, because we're a lot more flush with cash right now. Fortunately, the good news is we've got a lot of baby warthogs that are about to start maturing, so we can start releasing them to the wild and adapting them out to other zoos to increase our ecology cast. I don't know what that's called, the leaves that you can pay with. Go ahead. I'm looking for like 1 male and 2 females, because it said it was groups of 7. And it preferred to have 1 alpha male for all the females. Which makes sense, they are birds. I don't even know who that is. Okay. The most common of ostriches. Success. Problem is, if you're buying one of the ones that are for money, their genetics just aren't quite as good. But we'll go with what we have now. This is still a young zoo. I mean, we literally have 2 exhibits right now, so it's still the early days. Wow, that was terrible. But we might have to get that one, even though it's terrible, just because... You know what, we can get one good one cheap here. Go ahead and spend those 50 leaves on it. Okay, we get one really nice one, and hopefully we get some good offspring based off of him. And... grab which green iguana is going to be the better iguana. Longevity is okay, fertility is good. Fertility is not as important to me though, because we're not going to be breeding these ones, like I said, so I'll get the one with the best longevity. Okay, that sounds like the plan. Alright, so I've gone ahead and started to rework our guest area. You can see there's already several changes because there were several start and stops, because I made some major mistakes, but I've got it down to the way I want it now. So it just kind of, I'll show you how I'm going to finish it up. Basically, we're just going to be putting these slatted panelings around our shops. I've already gone ahead and put down the cement between them so that when you look through the slotted panelings, you're not going to see like that corrugated stuff that the buildings are actually made out of. And let's go ahead and throw some trees. I've gone ahead and wrapped the bended parts around there. If you go to the back, you'll see that it doesn't actually connect to anything, but that's okay because guests aren't going to be looking there, and it's going to let me slide some things in the back. Because remember, we do need to put a staff area, so let's go ahead and do that now before I forget. Kind of want it to be part of the back of this building. Might have to move some of the trees out of the way. I know what I really need to do is make sure that it's not going to be interfering with guest happiness. So let's check that. I don't think that box is too big. Yeah, we can just put it one step back and the guest won't even feel it. That's perfect. Okay. It does mean we're probably going to have to move some of these trees out of the way. So let's go ahead and move them for now. I think these are all trees that just came with this zoo. So just ripping it up. The Lorax would be so sad. I guess we're replanting them. He wouldn't be too upset. Okay. I don't even know if this is going to be visible from the... Whoops. I just want to put in a... zookeeper pathway. I don't know if this is going to be visible from the guest area, but I'm still going to dress up this this staff warehouse, or what do you call it? What is the keeper house? Keeper something? This building, the break room. I'm still going to go ahead and just dress up the break room. That's going to show you what I was doing while I was screaming at the camera and things that I ended up cutting out. So, see, we just go ahead and drop these all around. And the way to get them flush with that is just select that as an editing group. And then once we have it all flushed around, I'll put a little pointed roof. And we'll grab the matching. Just a real simple thing like that. It's not that exciting, but it looks better than the just basic corrugated stuff that the actual buildings are made out of. Can I slide these trees back in here? So instead of making it one big building now, I'm just going to go ahead and make it a couple smaller buildings. Add this to the work group so the people working in here know to go there. I'll also go ahead and add our exhibit. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the information booth to the north, the bathrooms to the south, the drink, food, and souvenir shop there are in front of us. I'm going to go ahead now and try to make this like the plaza center by filling in these holes. Basically what I did is I laid a pathway. I made a spherical pathway, and then I laid like a cross or a T or an X through it. And the reason I wanted to lay the X through it is because that's going to allow the guests to walk up to it. And then we're going to cover up the gaps by putting this floor down here. So that way it's going to look like it's on like a raised dais, but the way the game registers it and interacts with it, it's going to have the guests walking up to it on those pathways. Good. It's not quite lining up with other ones. I might have to just put these guys on a grid and redo it that way. If I was really skilled, I would be able to make like a faux little step there. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to maintain that the whole way around. Let's see if I have to give it a shot. Let's see if I reduce it. That's kind of what I forgot to do. I forgot to change my grid size down to 1. I still had it on 4. I bet you this lets me smooth it out now, though. Mostly. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's coming out perfect. Okay, that's what we're going to do is just go ahead and put these guys on a grid instead of trying to freeform them like I did at the start here. So there we go. Just drop those guys on that, and you are a little off center. Do I need to snap you off the group? I probably need to snap you off the group. Okay. Try to get that lined up with where we have the bathrooms and the information booth at. And it does leave a little gap there, so we'll need to extend this out a bit. Yep, can't do it with a path. We'll have to lay down, we'll have to lay down a thicker little dais. It might be a little thinner on that side anyway, so let's go ahead and grab, edit. Nope, not save as blueprint. Grab, edit. And there we go. Alright, we've got it all smoothed out. Really the trick to it is, if you're going to do technical work like that, I think it's best, my pro tip would be to create it on a grid and change the grid sizing down to 1 meter instead of the default 4 meters. Because that kind of gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you a little bit more control of exactly where everything can be put, but it also keeps everything nice and lined up, so we don't have to worry about that. Go ahead now and dress up our restroom here. We got a small bathroom. I'm going to do a similar thing that we did to our drink stands. I'm actually going to go ahead though and extend the walls off of this a little bit, just to make it look like it's a larger building. Like the, whoops, let me scoot you back in. So it's going to look like it's just has those 2 doors, but you can like go to the left for the women's, go to the right for the men's. So as far as the game is concerned, it's a small bathroom, but it'll have the aesthetic appeal of a large one. Nope, not you. Not a flat one. Where's like the not quite as... Nope. Nope. I'm looking for that. There we go. Nope. Turn you around, let you out. There, like that. That's how we want it. Okay. Very good. Now let's go ahead and get our signage on it so it's clear to the observer that it's a restroom. Do I like that? That's a little big, actually. Oh, let's go ahead, yeah. Let's go ahead and, I'm going to use the smallest one. Yes, we'll go ahead and use the small one. Get rid of that one, because it's just a little too much. It's a little too plain for me also. I mean, I could put the wood slatting on the front. Let's get you here while I'm thinking about that. Put the wood sliding on the front, which would tie it in with the rest of the area. That's something we can certainly do. Where do I want these? Now those block it. We'll go ahead and put benches to either side. So that way when you're waiting for your fellow zoo goers to go to the restroom, and you don't have to go, you'll have a place to sit and wait for them. Wish this game had water fountains. I feel like that should be there. Go ahead and foliage this area up a little bit. Can't grab that one. It's technically outside the zoo boundaries. I wonder if I need to put an outside wall around the zoo. That would probably be a good idea, but oh well. Let's go ahead then and take these large nettles, and we're just going to kind of bow them around following the edge of the path. And we want them on the other side of the tree to make it look like the tree is growing up in there, and just give it a more natural pattern. Because in theory, if the seeds were being blown by the wind, they would hit any objects, fall around them, and those objects would have thicker coverage. So if you're putting down rocks or trees, you might want to have the little needles around there, if you're going for the natural look, of course. Yeah, let's go ahead and put this, I want that, the little frame around you. We'll go ahead and, yeah, just add these to the sides. I think that's probably good. Anything else I want to do? It just looks a little plain, that bathroom does. I mean, it matches the rest of the area, kind of. The rest of the area I'm going to put some signs on to make it pop a little bit more. Spoiler alert, I'm going to put signs on there to make it pop a little more. What can we do with these, like, zebra and leopard prints? No, it's clinging to the building itself. Ooh, that's too big. Okay, so what we'll do is drop this back here, and then we can do one before I commit to it all, just to make sure it looks right. And then put that up here. And And if we put the, no, whoop, I accidentally changed it to the leopard. Do I want to keep it leopard? I think I might. Yeah, keep that leopard. Use the second zebra one I put beneath it. Yeah, okay. And then put a third leopard one below that. Nope, that's too big. Where's the smaller? Let's just duplicate you so I don't have to go hunting. Okay, you're there. Slide you out. It's going to make the zebra one slightly smaller, but I kind of like that. Yeah, okay. And then, where am I going to put this sign? I'll put that sign there. And then we'll put a similar pattern over here. That'll be our idea. That's a great idea, I think. Okay. One. Save. Nope. I hit cancel instead of check. Always hit the check when you want to keep it. Always hit that check. Okay. I think I've got everything there. Let's just pop it out. Pop, pop, pop. Popping it out. Making everything line up. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay. And you'd think I could do this quicker since I've already done one, but no, I'm not very good at it. There we go. Yeah, I kind of like that effect. It gives it a zoo-y vibe. And I like that it has that kind of overdone zoo vibe at the front of the zoo. I feel like that's, at least with the zoos I've been to, that's more how it is, where it kind of has that more kid-friendly look to the front, and then as you go in, it might get more serious, or it might not, but okay, so I think that's good. I think you're good, but I kind of want to distinguish the lines here. And also, like I said, I want to put some signage on it. Let me go ahead. I'm going to put a, I don't like the fact that there's some concrete up front here either. So, alright, I'll just manually do it. Bring you down a little bit, and then we'll take you off that grid so we can slide you forward. Separate, move, slide. And I'm okay with it popping up a little bit because it's distinguished from that area. I guess one of these bushes right here kind of fills that in pretty perfectly. Now the pathways are a little off. Do I have flowers tall enough you can see them? I think those ones pop a little bit, so I'll go ahead and fill that in. And again, these really don't go anywhere, but it's going to look nice when you're waiting in line, so that's the point. You get it looking all nice. I know there's like, where are the signs for these things? I know they're in here somewhere. Everything. So they're not included in that. Oh, they're included in the signs. Who would have guessed that the signs were in the signs? Okay. Is that too big, or is that the right size? I think that's the right size for that. Although they do have a smaller one. Yeah, that one fits better. Okay, so that's the one we want. I'm going to edit you, and then I'm just going to throw... You don't quite line up, do you? I mean, I could get it overhanging like that, but that might be too much. Okay, so let's just do it this way. We're going to go ahead and just, real quick, put all the signs we need on the grid, and then we're going to separate them. And the reason I put them on the grid first is just to get one of the axes completely right, and then I only have to fiddle around with the other two to get it working. That's something I found that's been real helpful. If you snap it and then tell it to separate, it's easier than just putting down a free-floating thing from the beginning, I think. All right, we got a gulpy down. I'm going to bring this tree into... it's not going to let me do it. Come on. Oh, must have overhung the borders too much. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Yep, yep. Yes, okay. And we'll go ahead and put the sign for the balloon shop in as well. And these signs should light up at night too, if I remember correctly. And there we go. Okay, we got the loopy balloons, we got all that. Go ahead here. Whoops, where are I'm looking for the like faux fences that I know are hidden somewhere in the construction equipment. Where are you? There we go. Okay. And so we're just going to put these in here. Now, the way the game works, guests will actually be able to walk through these fences. They're not going to be an actual barrier, but it's going to make it look like there are separate lines for these. So that's what we're going for. Is that sufficient? I think I want to put the fences on the other side, on either side of it as well. I just want to get that lined up just right. Just so. Oh, for those who can't tell what I'm doing right now, it's because the fencing is like on one side of the post, and I'm trying to combine them so it looks like it's double-sided. That way nobody in the gulpy line is going to look like the fence goes to the B side, and nobody on the B side is going to look like it goes to the gulpy line. And then I don't know why it put you underground, but there we go. Just shift you up, set you down, and there. You stick out way too much. Slide you back to about there. Yeah, that way the two posts combine. No, you were a little. Now you've flown up in the air. There we go. And a little bit like so. It's still just a smidge off. Come on, smidgen. There you go. And that's how we come up with the word smidgen. Okay. I think that works for that. I'm going to put a few more of these trees. In fact, let's go ahead and fill in this area here so that it's more distinctly separate. Put the picnic benches down in this corner I'm not really using. What I probably should do is put in a separate picnic area. Yep, didn't think about that while I was designing this place. So the picnic benches are going to be either I'm going to get rid of them, or they're going to kind of be just pushed off to the side. So that's okay. In the future, just make a note to myself that I need to make sure there's a picnic zone. And since this corner down here really isn't being used for anything else, I'm going to put them in here for now. And that's fine. Okay. I think people will be able to get around them without any issues, and get to them without any issues. So, do that, and now we need to get the soda shop, or the information booth set up. So, real quick, you select its grid, and then when you go into construction materials, they'll just snap right to it. So, save you a lot of time and effort from trying to get everything lined up perfectly. Trust me, I've tried it the other way, it does not work as well. Grab the roof. And it's pretty simple. We're pretty limited in what's supplies and things we have unlocked so far in this franchise zoo, so everything's going to kind of look plain Janey and, oh, you're not quite lined up. There we go. A little plain Jane and a little, everything's the same in every area just because that's the only things we got right now. I do have mechanics diligently researching new building sets, though, so of course, I do most of my construction pause, so they're not doing anything actually right now, but you know what I mean. Okay. And where is that the right size? Yeah, that's the right size. Yeah, I like the bigger one, and we're just going to overhang it. We're actually going to put it higher than it needs to be. Because in theory, it would go on that black rectangle, but I'm going to make this one, whoops, didn't want to move you, wanted to move you. Make this one a little bit higher. That way it kind of even goes up to the roof. Just make it real obvious it's an information booth. No one cannot know it. And spruce up the area like so. And I wanted to fill in this grass area. So we're going to go ahead. What I'm going to do is lay down a couple of rocks of various sizes and shapes in here. Just kind of randomly set them down wherever I think it's sort of aesthetically pleasing. Like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to build up some plants around them. And this is going to give the effect of kind of making this area separate from the main part of the zoo. Put some signage down here. From the main part of the zoo where the animal exhibits are. Or the bulk of the animal exhibits. We still got to put up our Iguana real quick. I'm realizing now this is going to be a very long episode, so I apologize. Maybe I'll break it up. If it's super, super long, maybe I'll break it up. Maybe not. Maybe I'll probably forget about that in the editing process. But anyway, so we're going to just go ahead and stick those leaves in there, or those bushes in there. Let me go ahead and drop my iguana into this exhibit. Thank you. And then we're going to build a little hutch around this. Maybe I will split it in two. Maybe I'll, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just calling it audible now. I'm going to make this just the guest area in our iguana exhibit. And then I'm going to have another episode where we put in the ostriches, and then we use those same ostriches, or we build improvements to the warthog exhibit, since it will have become the warthog and ostrich exhibit. That's the plan. Okay, so similar thing around the iguanas. We're just dropping in the cement and then the slatted, but we're also going to want to build a little awning on top of it, like that. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that going to work for us? See, I could put these rounded ones in, but they go one way and they don't give you the other option. It's annoying, because like if I put it there, it lines up. If I put it on the other side, it looks wonky. Not a fan of that. Yeah, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and just lay the rectangle down, and we're going to make sure our grid size is the 1. And that way we can line it up and then get it matched up with the floor. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get it matched up with the floor, with that little raised dais we put it on earlier. And then once we've got this completely built in, I'm just going to put some posts down. And this is going to work real well because the posts are going to be in the areas that are technically don't have a path under them. So it won't even look like the guests are walking through any post or anything like that. See? They're all coming together. It's a plan from the beginning. Trust me. I want you guys separate. I'm just going to put these 4 posts down and then slide them in. And I'm doing that because there's technically 2 different grids there. There's the grid for the floor and a grid for the roof. And it was having a little problem figuring out which one I wanted. Okay. Just like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And move this into here too. That, and that. Just kind of lining it up with that stud thing that's sticking down from the roof anyway. Make it look like it's all put together. Okay. And it's a little too far forward. Perfect. Good. Now we've got a very simple little design there. It's actually a little too plain looking now that I've seen it done. So what I'm going to do is add a lip to the roof. This is something that worked really good in Zoo Tycoon 2 to make your buildings a little more interesting. So let's see if the same principle holds here. 2. There. So from the guest view, yeah, I think the slatted nature of it is a disadvantage. I feel like it should look more solid up there. What we're going to do then is similar to what we did for our buildings. I'm going to go ahead and just put like a cement right behind it. It's not letting me put it in. Okay. So what we'll do is move these guys out. For those of you who don't know, like if you're on the grid mode, you can put things on the front of the line or behind the line. So you can see that we're able, even though on the grid, to move these out slightly. And we're going to move these out slightly so that we can put our cement ones on the inside and fill in those holes in the slots. It's provided, of course, it does. Yep, you can see now we can slide it right in. Oh, it kind of gives it a nice little railing up top, too. I like that look. Okay, so that's something we need to keep in mind later. That would actually make a pretty good little fake fence. You could put a null fence through it and use that. Or you can even use that probably as a pathway boundary. Just notes to myself. Okay. I like how that looks better. Let's go ahead though and make this educational and get some support for it. We want people to enjoy our iguanas, so I'm going to go ahead and drop in some signage for them. A little educational thing, and we're also going to put in an educational speaker. I wonder if I could just put that... I'm going to put it down here. Yeah. Although there's a part of me that wants to see what it would be like to put it on the roof. Maybe I'll experiment with that off camera. Okay. Green iguana, la la la. What else? I don't feel like there's enough trees in there. Oh, the boulders actually look pretty good. But let me go ahead and drop a tree or two, just in case. Okay. Yeah, just build up this area similarly. How does that actually look? Uh-oh, our iguana's not happy. Oh, because I haven't fiddled around with the temperature and stuff for them. So of course they're unhappy. Let me go ahead and change work zone to include that. And then we'll fiddle around with the temperature and stuff. So he says it's too hot and it's too humid. We'll crank these down a little bit. And hopefully these things will settle in the green. Nope, we cranked them down a little too much. Just try to get them in the green. I don't know if any of the enrichment animals like get animal bonuses for being in multiple species. Not that I've seen so far, but that would be a pain to get them exactly dialed in so all the species are happy. Why do you not like? Vendors are not having a home. Okay, I'm going to put my free vet into the research for that. Alright. I lied a little earlier. I said I was going to split it up. It's going to be just a long episode. You're going to have to deal with it. I'm going to go ahead and put my ostriches in now. So let's go ahead. First, I'm going to do a little bit of... I just want to make sure my warthogs, that I'm not overwhelming them, because I had like full 7 adults, which is as many as they like in a pack. So as soon as any of them age up, I'm going to have to start making decisions about which ones to cut. Yeah, 7. So that's as large an adult population of warthogs as I should have. Why is their enrichment down? Why are you not happy? Alright, let me find a toy for you. Great piggies. So both warthogs and ostriches like this big food pit. We'll get rid of this little food trough. It's actually a water trough, but that's okay because they got that pond to drink from. Put the big one in. Let's take a look now. What does Thelma and her fellow ostriches need? They need something to play with. I'm going to go ahead and put a sprinkler back here. Putting it towards the back where the guests won't really see it, so the animals will have a place that they can go cool off, and it's not going to look too artificial to the guest. Plus it gives the animals a place where they can cool off and not be like looked at, stared at, and be made nervous. Okay, let's go ahead now. I'm going to put educational speakers in this area for my ostriches, and we're going to make it so that I don't want any overlapping sound between them. Let's go ahead and put in some signage for them too. The nice part about adding animals to an exhibit is that you can kind of get right to it. I am going to make one major structure change I've already decided, which is why it's going to be a very long episode, and I apologize about that. Kind of don't like that. Let's go ahead and put the signs for the ostriches inside the viewing areas that we built. So we'll go ahead and, it's not letting me snap it, so we'll go ahead and put one down. And then we'll just hang it on the wall here. Raise you up, turn you 90 degrees, and slide you in against the wall. Oh, you're a little bit on the angle. I said 90 degrees, darn it. Yeah, you're actually pretty flush with that, so just get you to the ceiling. Make it it's upside down, of course. Of course. 90 degrees the other way, please. Like so. And we'll just get it lined up with the ceiling there. So it's always nice to have something that you can line up and make it flush against. Okay, so there's some ostrich signage. Maybe I should put a warhog on the other side, but that's okay. I probably should put the warhogs on the other side, but I don't want to move the signs we have because education is important and we need to bring it up. So what do the ostriches use for a bed? They just use like these grass and hay beds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to alter our fence. I'm going to make a little area back here, and we're going to build an inside area for our animals back here. Where guests, they'll be able to see the building, but they won't be able to see the entrance to the building, and they won't be able to see where how the zookeepers get into it. Why is that not letting me in? It might be a little bit too close to the side. I might have to tinker with it a little bit here and there. There, let me do it there. Interesting. Alright, go ahead and delete those out since we got this new nearly square place that we're going to put our... So probably the best way to get this to work is just to add a new joint, for lack of a better term, there. And that way we can just stretch this out like that. Perfect! See, I'm going to get this game eventually. Smooth this area out before we do any actual construction, so everything's going to be on the same flat plane. Yes, yes. And let's go ahead and build a building. It's going to be a simple one. And then I'm going to put a facade on the part that the guests can see. But we'll go ahead and start up a building here. I wanted to extend past that fence a little bit. And I want it so the fence looks like it's going to go through the middle of the building. Trust me, there's a method to my madness. Let's go ahead and jank that down. Because I don't know if I've done a lot of talking about null fence in this game, which is something... basically, it's a form of fence that creates an invisible fence. So if you want to use a natural boundary, or in the case like this, where I want to make it look like the building I'm building is part of the fence, we're going to go ahead and make it a null fence runs through it. And that's going to give us the advantage of you won't have like that little bit of wood that's poking out there. We're just going to click null fence, and even though there's a fence there, it's just going to be invisible to us, so it's going to look like that building is the actual fence. And you're poking through a bit. I don't think I can just make that post invisible, so I'm just going to move it inside the building, like inside the actual wall. And so from this angle, it looks like the fence just goes into that wall and ends. Great. Let's go ahead and switch this all to short grass. Doing that so as I put the floor in, the long grass won't poke through the floor. And let me make sure these guys are all happy. Yeah, they're all still in the green for their environment, so switching that to short grass didn't mess it up. Alright, we'll move the structure for the warthogs in here. I haven't really planned out in my head exactly how this is going to look. I think I'm going to put warthogs in this corner and ostriches on the right-hand side. Yeah, that's how we'll do it. Okay, so what we need to do is add a door on the back, or a gate on the back is how I should say it. And we'll make like a little faux, this is where we want the ostriches go thing. I need to get you lined up. Like so? It's actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it short and snap it. I'm just going to put these down, and that way I can go back through and like delete some of them to make like little gates. Oh, these I made it a null fence. That's okay, we can change it in a second here. So select, and then change it to chain link. Beautiful. And then we can delete the ones we don't want, or the ones that we want to be gates. That did not line up right. I want it straight. God darn it. That worked better, I hope. Yeah, okay, that looks straighter. Okay. So same thing. Change it to chain link. And then we'll just go through and delete like every other one, I guess? Yeah, delete every other one. Which will have the... you don't fight, Lord. I'm gonna move you in slightly. And then move this one in slightly. Because there is a minimum length the fence has to be. I think it has to be the 1 meter length. Which is what that is. So we'll go ahead and cheat it like that. And the difference in gap should be such that nobody notices. Except, you know, if you took the time to record it and post your failure on the YouTubes for everyone to see. Okay, adding another fence off of here. It's going to be the easiest way. Whoops, I did not mean to drop one outside there like that. So, best way is probably just to expand it so it's relatively the same size as that structure, as the hard habitat for our piggies, our warthoggies. Beautiful. And then we're going to turn this to chain link. And then delete one of the chain links to make it look like, well, that's where the hogs go in and out. Great. Great, great, great. Okay. Now comes the tough part, is we're going to be moving the gate for this exhibit to the back of this building. And if I did it right in my head, this is going to work. The question is, did I do it right in my head? So, again, I'm just kind of putting in a fake little door thing. And, whoops. So I'm going to be getting rid of this cement slab so that we can put a gate in and then put the doorway around the gate. And there's a, I was going to say a 50-50 shot. There is a high probability that this is not going to work, and it's going to require me to do a lot of finagling to get it to work, because I'm not 100% sure about the mechanics for this. Do I need to lay down the fence first? Probably. Do I need to do anything else to prepare the area? Who knows? There's no way of knowing. This thing, the grid's a little bit off. Oh, it's because I have it before. You know what? That's fine. I'll just do it this way. I'll snap it off. What I could have done was change that again to the 1 by 1 or a 1 meter size grid, but this works too. And since I'm planning on having to like work with it in order to get the gate to line up perfectly, I'm perfectly fine with having this free floating so that I can do that once we put our gate in. Okay, that looks good for now. So what do I want to do? Let's go ahead and put the floors in. Get it lined up. Oh, that doesn't quite work, does it? Huh, even at the 1 meter, it goes over a little bit. Or not far enough. There's that little, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little tiny gap on the left-hand side. Looks like it's going to be in the front too. Yeah, there's a little gap there. So what we're probably going to have to do is just separate them from the grid and slide them in to get it to work. Yeah, okay, yeah, just do that. Just kind of slide those walls back a little bit. Oh, now we got to slide the fence back too a little bit. But we'll go ahead and slide the fence walls. Real quick, a thing you can do if you need to slide that whole wall is just hold down Control and you can select all the pieces you want to move. And then you can move them as a unit. That way you don't have to do each individual panel. A little pro tip I figured out. Probably was in the instructions, but who reads instructions? Come on. Alright, this is going to be visible to the guests, so this is going to be the side that we kind of dress up a little bit. Yeah, we'll go ahead and put windows on. Give it a little bit of character. What about... I wonder if I could use that same... Ooh, I like that awning though. Go ahead and use that awning. Let me put down the door frame so I know where it goes first. Then we can slap the awning on the top of that. It's got the Planet Zoo logo. That's a little weird, but okay. It looks fine. I like the color. It goes with the. It goes well with that wood and the. What would you call that on the windows? It's like a dark teal. I don't know what the official color is. I'm gonna put the cement frame on the back so it's all one piece. And then looking for something interesting. We could put a similar pattern to what we did on the bathroom with the zebra and leopard stripes. That's certainly something we could do. Yeah, we could. I don't know how good it's going to look here. Yeah. But kind of like... I didn't mean to put that log down there, but I kind of liked it. Ooh, I got an idea. Yes, because we have to cover that anyway. Let's go ahead and just put these logs down. And cover up those. I don't need the zebra stripes in. Yeah, I kind of like how that looks. See, we got there. Oh. I completely forgot that we were doing the gate in the back. Alright, let's see if we can figure this one out. So it only lets you have one gate on any exhibit. So what I'm going to do is see if I can't get this lined up as perfectly as possible. Then I'm going to remove the gate from here, like so. It's going to tell me my animals have escaped, but once you have the game running for a second, it will figure out that they haven't actually escaped. And then in theory, we can just slap down another gate here. But our theory doesn't look like it's panning out. Well, shoot. What can we do? Let's figure this out. I'm going to keep a camera rolling, and I'm going to figure this out live so you can see what I go through. Okay, so the problem seems to be... Why did we move here? I misclicked. The problem seems to be it's actually where the fences are connecting. Like, the gate is trying to match up with multiple gates, but it seems like... multiple fences, so it seems like it's obstructed. Yeah, you can see how the red bars are going through like that. So here's what I think we should do. First thing I'm going to try is just getting this fence like lined up perfectly beforehand. I don't think that's going to work, but that would be an easy solution if it did. In fact, let me slide this out of the way just so I can see the gate clearly. Okay. And it's still not letting me in. Shoot. Okay. We'll get this figured. We'll figure this. I'm going to do some figuring. See, when I try to snap it in there, it's going to those other free-floating gates that we put, or I keep calling everything gates. It's going to these fences that we put in just to make it look like there was interior design and ways that we're tricking the animal, or prompting the animals to go. We'll go ahead and delete these guys out. We'll put them back in later, but let's just put in the gate first. Let's see if that, okay. It's hitting this one. Alright. So let's see now, if I'm right, we should be able to drop a gate. See, it's still snapping to that one. So, we might have to just clear out like a 4-meter distance. That might be it. Let's go ahead and see if that is the case. Oh, I haven't cleared out the 4-meter distance. It's still snapping to that one. Right? Yeah, okay. Because those posts are still technically in that range. So we'll get rid of these ones too. And if my theory's correct, the gate should let us put it there now. And get it going the right way. And perfect! Yes! Okay. I'm starting to actually figure out how this game works. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to turn this into a corrugated fence, because I like the look of that with the door. I like the utilitarianness of it. So now we're going to go ahead and slide this in. Get it like the right height and angle, and put it over the door. It's going to be much easier for us to come to the door of the gate, come to the gate, and have the gate come to us. If that makes any sense. I hope so. Okay. And now we'll put in the walls here. And even though this one's a little bit lower, I'm okay with that. Because we're going to be putting a roof on top, and we can fudge it in there. And if worst comes to worst, we can always raise the... we can always put a like a chunk of cement across the top there to make it flush, like filling in the last Lego brick. Okay, let's go ahead and put these fences back. I think that's too long, so it's not going to let me. Let's make a shorter, and that snaps. That's good. And we want it going the other way as well. Too long. And there, snapping it in. Good. And now I'll make you a null fence, and you two on the other side here should be null as well. Great. Good. So we don't have any fences poking out. We've got a functional gate there. We'll go ahead and put these guys back in now. Same method, make it a 90 degree, and just go up. being obstructed. So my guess is, okay. Here's what we'll do. We'll have it going over to the wall here. We'll make a smaller pen, and then kind of leave area for the zookeepers. Why is it not letting me? Let me put it in an angle. Oh, I know why it's not letting me connect to this fence over here, and that's because I haven't put a post. So what you need to do, if you come across this issue here, where it's not letting you snap to a fence midway, what you'll do is select the fence you want to snap to, and then you need to add and put in one of these posts, because you can only connect to post. So if I'm correct, yep, snaps right in. Perfect. Okay, so we'll put the ostriches in that right-hand side. We'll keep the hogs on the left. So I want to put in something here to make it look... Oop. That's fine. It can be a little bit off because it's going to end up being gated. Or faux gated, at least. So yeah, like that. So now there's a little running area there. We'll go ahead and throw in an ostrich bed. Fine, I'll put you there. And gotta get a bed and a thing of water. Looks like the grid's giving me issues. I mean, I could always just set it down somewhere safe. Like so. And then slide it in. Although that's giving me a problem too. So it might be the hitbox or something else. Okay, that's fine. We can leave that out there. Just Control Z it. Okay. Yeah. Oh no, what happened to our gate? Uh-oh. It's not letting us re-gateify. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Control Z until we have a gate again. I think. Yeah. Yeah. It's easy. There. Okay. So what happened when we put that fence in? Okay. I think we've got an idea of what we want to do there. So I want to put a fence across here. I'm not going to connect it to the wall though, because every time you connect it to the wall, it deletes our gate, you see? If you even just mess with it, it thinks you messed with the gate. So instead what I'm going to do is put in one of these cement walls to cover up that area that's got the pig. I keep calling them just pigs, which is kind of cute and not inaccurate. They are pigs, but they're warthogs. So I'm going to use the cement wall on this part of the warthogs. I'll lower it a little bit. Loo, 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 loo. That's pretty good. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead here and get rid of that tall grass I now see in the corner. Fly away, grass, fly! And we should be able to drop an ostrich bed now, like so. Put it on that end so it encourages them to walk in further. Okay. I think technically the warthogs can use that bed too, so you might see the warthogs cozying up in there, and that's just fine. And I think what I want to do is make a barrier coming off of this. I want to make it look like there's a secondary gate that the humans have to go through before they can hop inside here. That way it just doesn't look like if somebody opens the door without looking, like a warthog can run out and, ruin everybody's day. Doesn't quite line up, so let's just go ahead. What I could do is probably snap it and then move the post, but is that even straight? It's not even straight. Let me get it just straight. Okay, we can just run it kind of along these rivets here. And then line it up with the shadow from that post. And that should be close enough. It's going to look correct. And, oh, it was correct for a second. Boom. Perfect. Now I also want there to be a place where the zookeepers can get through. So we're going to go ahead and add to this gate. We're just going to add the smallest area it lets us. It's a little smaller. Like that. And then we'll just delete out the smaller area. I don't think I can put another one. Yeah. So we'll just go ahead and delete out the smaller area. And that'll be like where our zookeeper comes in. Yeah, what I wouldn't give for fake gates, or functional gates would be even better. But here's what I'm going to do. Is I'm just going to put more of a 1 meter chain link fence at the strongest, most acute angle I can. And by doing that, it'll look like that's just a gate that's been flung all the way open. That'll let people get through an area functionally, and also give us the illusion we're going for. At least in my head, it gives us the illusion we're going for. Yeah, there's just no like perfect gate thing. Did I delete the gate again? Did I delete the actual gate to our fence again? Alright, we're going to do some Control Z. When did that happen and why did it happen? My understanding is, as long as we don't actually attach anything to those two posts, the gate should remain perfect. Maybe I did that accidentally. I don't remember doing it accidentally, but maybe I did. No problem. We'll just drop you here. And try to cheat it out so it doesn't look like that the wood on the roof is part of it. Go ahead and cheat that. There, I think. Why does that not look right to me now? It doesn't quite look right. Oh well, we'll get it in. We'll get it flush to that post. When I make it flush to that post, there's a little wood that comes in. So like there. Yes. Yes, okay, that all looks right. And what did we end up having to delete? We ended up having to delete the entrance for our keeper, so making sure to not touch at all the section of the fence with the gate in it. Is it not going to let me do that? Doesn't look like it is. Yeah, so the gates, what I've really learned in this episode is that those gates are super sensitive. And if you're anywhere within like the 4 meter range of them, it's going to interact with them and mess up the gate. Because you can see, even though I'm all the way over here, it's highlighting it. It really, really wants to attach things to gates. So you've got to really plan that area out. Otherwise, you end up making, oh, jeepers, this is a long video. I apologize. Let me go ahead. I'm going to wrap this up as quickly as possible then. No, not that. I said I was going to wrap it up, and now I'm stopping to think how I can get this illusion to work. Here's what we can do. We can just go ahead and keep this going across to here. And I will add in the smallest possible section. Like so. Delete that. And then we'll go ahead and put in those like faux open gates like we were talking about. And this way we in no way interact with the actual gate on the fence. This is the episode where the word gate loses all meaning. Yep, just get that angle as acute as we can. It's easy to remember which angle is the acute one because it's the small one that's so acute. Small, cute, acute. You're laughing. You can admit it. Good. I think that looks like what I'm going for. Like those are open. Let's go ahead and put an ostrich veg. Hopefully we don't have to Control Z this one. I don't think we will, but I didn't think we'd have to for the other ones either. Good, good. It occurs to me I haven't even gone and like looked at what this building looks like from the guest point of view. So hopefully it's not an issue. I think it'll look fine. Let's go ahead and check though. Yeah. Yeah, it looks great. Right? Correct, I mean? Yeah, it looks great. It just looks like there's a little zoo building in the back. It's got a nice little facade. A little happy facade. Perfect. Do I actually need to round these guys up? I hope not. I don't think all 13 of those animals are actually on the loose. On the loose. Obviously the tortoises aren't. Lulu. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I shouldn't have gone silent there. For a second I was playing without narrating, like a fool. And this episode is long enough. Okay, let's go ahead and just set these guys. Let's get the work zone fixed so it includes our new one. It changed because we did change the... we changed the outline of the fence, so... Or we moved the gate. I think the gate is what took it off that work zone. But now that we have it, we'll go ahead and assign most of our people to work zone 1. Work zone 2 being the place with all the vendors and the iguana. And everybody else being part of work zone 2. I guess I'm probably going to have to put it in work zone 3 at the next one. I have no clue what I'm going to do in the next exhibit. Comment in the comments below if there's a particular animal that you want to see, or something that you want to see me try, like, I don't know, underwater viewing, or paths, raised paths, or any of the things that this game can do that I haven't yet. Just leave a comment below, and I'll try to incorporate that in. Probably won't be the next episode, because I'm recording these a little bit before I throw them up online, but I'll eventually get to it. Trust me, I will definitely get to it if you leave a comment and says, hey, I want to specifically see this animal or this thing that you can build in here. I will absolutely do my best to get that to you as quickly as possible. Okay, let's go ahead and put a roof. Let's wrap this up so you're not here all day. So I'm not here all day either. Wrap this up by putting a roof in. And we're just going to put a real basic roof. The guests aren't going to be able to see it. So we can even just put cement across the top and that'll be fine. So I want the height. Actually, I want the grid size to be 4 meters, right? And then I'll just line it up manually by height. So I want a little lip. You can see I'm leaving a little lip heading towards you. And believe it or not, I actually planned on that. It's one of the few things I actually planned when I was making this building. Okay. Very good. And we're going to have that last row go off just a little bit. That's fine. So now what we'll do is what? Oh, tortoises are expecting. We'll go ahead and actually, what I want to do is take out the whole group. Oh well. But what we're going to do is go ahead and slide this up so it's all flush with the walls. So 1, 2, 3, grab all 4 of these and then separate them all from the grid, and then we can slide them all at once. And that way we don't have to do an individual panel at the same time. Great. Yes, okay, and then we'll do it with the ones in the back as well. And the one that's on the very back, or the back left as we're looking, of course, is one that we've already slid, but we can still select it and make it part of the group here. 3, 4, and then the wonky one. Get free. Make that slide. Oh, I mentioned I could do it, and then I didn't do it. But you can! Trust me. I was just too dumb to do it. Real quick, select you. And then we'll just slide that one in, so everything's flush. There we go! Check mark. And so we've turned that empty area now into a nice little inside area for our ostriches and warthogs. That exhibit's probably big enough we could put another animal in, but I doubt I would. Probably any new animals I would put in a different exhibit. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that renovation there. And that's actually one of the things I do like about these zoo simulators, is when you have to go back and sort of renovate it. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, I realize now I haven't put the ostrich signage in here. Shoot, let's go ahead and do that now. Wrap this up. Let's see if I can remember to do. Okay, here's what I want you to leave a comment right now in the comments. I'm going to hang this up and then turn the sign on. Do you think it's going to be right side up or upside down? Remember the last one was upside down. So go ahead and leave the comment now. I'm going to hang this up. And you get major kudos if you guess correctly. So many kudos, you won't even know what to do with them. You'll be like, well, what do I do with all these kudos? You'll be giving them away to friends and family because you're so a kudo flush. Let's get you lined up. There, that looks like it's on the right axis. Okay, last chance to guess. Upside down, right side up. Upside down. And I think it was right up against the wall here. I'll have to double check it. But... okay. Selecting. It's upside down. Congratulations to all of you who selected upside down. First of all, I'm insulted that you had no faith in me. Second of all, congratulations for having no faith in me. You were absolutely correct. This is not a place where you should invest your faith. It would be a mistake. Alright. I think that's all I'm going to put you people through today. That was a long episode. We've actually broke the 1 hour mark, so I'm definitely going to stop here. Oh, we got something. Research was completed on our... oh, souvenir shops. Okay, I'm actually going to move this guy then from souvenir shop research to... let's put him in the African theme. Since we're doing a lot of African animals, let's keep up with that and start unlocking things so we can make our exhibits a little more interesting and specific to the animals we're using. But yeah, there we go. So we did a lot of renovation in this episode. We completely redid our guest area. We added the green iguana exhibit, which seems to be doing pretty good. Let's zoom out here. Where am I? What am I stuck inside? Oh, I was inside the information hub. But you can see it is doing a good job of drawing people in to both look at the iguana and then continue on to get their snackage, use the bathrooms, and buy some balloons and buy some of those information things. Actually, I like how that bathroom turned out. I like the patterns. It's weird that you kind of have to step up to get in the bathroom. That's just how they're built in this game, so can't explain that. Not OSHA friendly. Got our chief beef, for goodness sakes. I can't even read and I can't even speak now, so we're going to go ahead and finish it off here. Lordy. And is there anything else we're going to... oh, we added the ostriches and put in the ostrich hut. So I think we actually accomplished a lot in this episode. I'm very pleased in it. We have a VIP guest coming to see us right now, which is pretty awesome. Hopefully they enjoy that new little building we've put in the back if they're a returning guest. Even if they're not a returning guest, all guests are welcome. How do these get turned off? Why are these turned off? Oh, I bet you it was when we moved the gate and it thought the animals got loose. So the way these signs work, they kind of find the closest exhibit that they are to, and they give you the option for all those animals in those exhibits. So while it thought the animals were loose, it must have turned them all off because it didn't think there were any animals in the exhibit because it couldn't detect the exhibit for a second. If that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining myself correctly. I'm just trying to make it so that you don't make the same mistakes I do, because I've made a few this episode, but they were all learning opportunities, and you are welcome. And I realize now I'm dragging out the end, so I just want to say this is Zoo Tycoon Steve. I hope you liked the episode. If you did, please click the like button, subscribe, bell. Thank you for spending your day with me, and goodbye. That was a long one. Goodbye. Thank you.